and today we got to play First Rat by Pegasus Spiele Games. But before we get into it, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and the notification bell because board games are amazing, and that's what we do here at Legend of Nirvana. Now, Randy had this at the game store and loved its theme, so let's get into it. Tell us more about this.
Actually, this was going to be one of my Gen Con pickups. I had it on my list to check out.
And look, you didn't even have to.
But it came out beforehand, so it's in our hands. 2022 release, and it's a Board Game Geek rating is 7.7. Board Game Geek rank is 3059. It is a 1 to 5 player game, 30 to 75 minutes in length, age of 10 and up. This is the recommendation. We played it with Sarah, and she played fine.
Yeah, she's fine.
Designed by Gabriele Aziello, Virginio Gigli. Art is by Dennis Lohausen. It's published by Pegasus Spiele, as we mentioned. Just a fun fact, I went through and put together my Gen Con shopping list, and the retailer that I have the most games that I want to check out, not necessarily buy, but they aren't on my must-buy list necessarily, but to investigate, is Pegasus Spiele, which is surprising because they're a good game company, and they make games, some are hit or miss. Sometimes you get a really good one, and sometimes you get some not-so-good ones. But like they had the most interesting lineup of all the game companies out there.
Well, I think you kind of have to be interesting in this current market where there's so much available.
Yeah.
You kind of have to be unique.
So the MSRP on First Rat is $39.99. Card House had it for $29.99. Miniature Market had it for $28.99, but they're sold out. They do still have them in stock at Card House.
Okay. All right. So let's talk about component quality. Now, these are the little player pieces.
The little rats.
You little rats. They look more like squirrels, but
I don't think so.
The thick tail.
Well, just at the bottom, but its tail looks. It's a rat. That's clearly a rat.
Well, squirrels are just bigger rats. Anyway, so I mean. Maybe. Okay, so anyway, so you have these. You have, now the cubes aren't that great, but you do get a little light bulb to go on the light bulb track.
And you get a little overhead rat. This is the light bulb tracks up here.
Oh, that's the
rat track down here.
Yeah. Okay. So basically, overall quality components, I mean, there's nothing amazing.
No.
There's nothing bad.
No, the cardboard, it's more thematic than it is. I mean, it's just cardboard. There's no linen finish.
But they at least did good artwork with it.
Yeah, but that's theme. As far as the component quality, the rats are really the nicest thing. I mean, it is wood. You get 5 different colors for 5 different players of each set.
And it did have purple, so that should give it a point.
And I don't think they had yellow. So that should give them a bonus point for me. It had blue. It did have blue. I think it's okay. I don't see anything outstanding. The board's nice. It's a big board. Well, it's actually not a big board. It's about the right size board, I'd say. I'd say it's probably about a 6.
Okay. All right. I'm the same thing. The 6 is good. All right. So let's then talk about the theme. Now, the theme is that you are a group of mice rats, and you are trying to go to the moon because you heard the moon was made out of cheese, and you are hungry, my friend.
Green cheese.
Cheese. All right, so what are you going to do to get there? Well, you're going to build yourself a rocket ship, and you're going to do that by gathering resources. Now, also on your journey, you're going to need some food, aka some more cheese, to actually make it to the moon. And so you are sending your swarm of rats to pick up different resources to help build the rocket ship and make it to the moon.
And training to be ratronauts.
Yeah, and training to be that. And there's some couple of things you could do. You only start out with 2 mice, and so you have to pick up some of your group along the way. So that's kind of what that looks like. Overall, the theme was super cute. I liked the art was good. It was very functional, but yet it was still super cute. Like, it's just got this really fun little theme, and I really enjoyed it. I thought it was super cute.
Yeah, I mean, the theme is what sold me on it. And I heard that story. I was like, this is amazing. I got to check this out. And I mean, it's not a roll and move, but you move similar to that. You have fixed movement that you can do. So you're moving and taking action. So it's more like a classic board game in that sense. But there's a lot of stuff going on as far as managing for your point salad scoring.
Well, I mean, and that's more gameplay, so we won't get into the heaviness of it. But Overall, the theme though,
I think it fits the game, fits the gameplay, and it incorporates it in. I really love this theme. I'm probably going to give the theme a 9.
oh, wow, you really like the theme there.
I thought it was an amazingly fun theme, and I think the art carries it through, and it's...
Yeah, I mean, integral part of gameplay. You know, I'm not willing to go up to a 9, but I'll give it a solid 7.75. So
that's solid.
I mean, I can't go quite up to an 8.
Okay.
But no, this is a fun theme. The art is good. Like,
well, they carry it through on the tokens. I mean, even like the bottle caps on one side have the bottle cap logo, and then on the other side your in-game bonuses. I just love all the little pieces. You've got comic book strips you're taking pieces out of for some of it, and all the components are like bottles and cans and a broken calculator.
I mean, I can see what you're saying.
Yeah.
They did carry it throughout, and they did a pretty good job.
And I love the little shop guys. You got that you rip off. I mean, that's the thing. You're a dirty rat.
I mean, we are going to starve the poor hamster.
Yeah, poor hamster didn't get any cheese.
I know. You guys are awful.
I'm not sure what the frog is going to do with the cheese he accumulates. I guess he's going to trade it back to us rats so we can get frog food, insects,
flies,
and such.
Whatever. Hey, no judgment. Okay, so overall, though, yeah, you said funness. All right, so let's talk about the actual rule book.
So the rulebook, there's 2 pieces to it, which took me a little bit to find. There's 2 rulebooks in the game, one for English, one for German. But it's laid out nicely. It's got a little, not really a cover, but it goes into the story on the front, and then the contents are clearly laid out for you, which was really nice. There's a huge insert first 2 pages showing you how to set it up with the board and everything. I like the way it looks. The yellow is a little bit much, but it's not bad. Then it goes into the gameplay sequence. The rulebook is only 12 pages long, so it's not a huge read.
So overall,
examples are clearly laid out. You've got going through solo play is basically just 1 page of it and 1.5 pages of it. There's the other side of the board, by the way, is a variable version of this, so they have like cardboard for all the spaces that you can randomly distribute all the spaces and all the scoring. So I like the flexibility of this game.
Yeah, that one's a good idea.
But yeah, the rulebook's really done well. I'm going to give it an 8. I think it's a fine rulebook. Oh, and the other sheet is the iconography. So it's got, not the iconography, but all the bonuses, like the comics that you can get and the different...
I like they make that a separate page, to be quite honest with you. Yeah. All right, so giving it a score?
I'm going to give it an 8. I think I already said that.
Okay, cool. Awesome. All right. So now let's move on to the actual gameplay. Now, my thing is everyone starts out with 2 mice, and then you have 2 in this...
it's where they're being born.
Nursery. They're the nursery. They're growing. You got to, and you got to pick them up when they've grown.
And you've got cubes, but you only get 8 of them. Or is it 8? Yeah, 8, and 2 that are going to be if you go over the 8, which 8 ends the game, but you can still potentially get 2 more scoring.
Okay, so I'm going to. So you can either move all of your mice 1 to 3 spaces. They have to land on the same color, but not the same space as the other mice. Now, the other thing is, or you can move 1 up to 5 spaces. Okay, so this first go around, I'm going to go to the light bulb. And then I'm going to increase it because there's 1 pictured, so that's the 1. Now, moving forward, anytime that I land on a space that is prior to the light bulb icon for me, I will get an additional 1 of that resource. Now, as we continue to play the game, there, that's a good one. All right, so, or I can choose to move all of my mice to the same color 1 to 3 spaces. So in this particular instance, I'm going to choose orange. So I'm going to move both of my guys, 1, 2, 3, and that was just 1. And then I get to trigger both of those spaces. So I would end up with 1 vinegar and 1 baking soda. Okay. Now
if there are other players typically playing the game, and if you have less than 5 players, you have to add some neutral mice to the game. So that's one thing I didn't like about it is
the fact that you have to add neutral mice.
Based upon it, but they're just basically blockers. And anytime you land on another player's mouse, you can still land on their space, but you have to pay them a cheese for every one of the mice that's there.
Yeah, and that can get pretty costly, especially if you're trying to go to the cheese ones and there's only one cheese and there's like 4 people on the cheese, and you're like, how the heck am I supposed to do that? All right, but yeah, that's basically the option. So like maybe the next round I'll go with green. Okay, so finally I've gotten a lot of resources and I'm doing some stuff. Then I'm going to, at any point during my turn, I could choose in, hey, you know what? I'm going to turn these in. I had 5 of those and 3 of those in case you were wondering how many of those I had.
You only need 2, but okay.
Oh yeah. 2.
So there's scoring tracks for the different parts of the rocket. There's 3 parts to the rocket.
Okay.
And the earlier you get it, the more points it's worth. If you get all 3 of them, there's a scoring track you get to build for free as you built a rocket component, or you built the rocket itself. And then you have track for how much cheese you donate.
Yeah.
So you can donate 10 cheese at once. You have to do it in increments of 10. And then there's a scoring track for how much you advance your light bulb up. And then there's also a scoring track for your moving of your rat through the burrowing. Yes.
And I'm about to get there. So if you want to pick up, maybe my next movement is to go up to these. And if you'll see, there are 4 chewed up apples. So I'll move up this guy 4 times. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, I can keep cycling through different sections, but I have to follow the arrows. So if I circle this section, I get special abilities. It's these
comic books.
Yeah, it's the comic books. So I can stop here and pick.
Well, you don't even have to stop. You can move.
Yes. So, and you can keep doing that. I can also go pick up a worker, but then I have to go back around, or I could just go to the scoring and it can keep going back around. So just kind of being aware of that, you know, special abilities are cool, so are workers, but victory points are also, hey, it lets you win the game. So that is another one of the options that you can end up doing. Now, there are some tunnels that you can pay the cost of to be able to skip a certain section of the board, so you can get further up in the track to get more of different items or some of the higher level items that are available into the game. Now, there's a couple of locations that you can end up stopping, and it is trading with different other animals. So in this case, in this one, you could end up 6 cheese for some special abilities. Now, these special abilities, for example, every time you go in a green space, you get a +1 every time you trigger the green, not a space, every time you trigger the green. And then over here on this one, you can grab a one-time multiplier. And then up here for the 12, you actually get something.
That's where you get end-game bonus tokens.
For victory points. But the thing is we're rats. We're not very moral, okay? We steal stuff all the time. And you can do that too. I don't have 6 cheese. So I'm going to but then I'm going to run away back to the start of the game. Now, the problem is you do lose spaces, and so you kind of lose that opportunity for those high-end items. And I think this was some of our failings because we were playing 2 different games. Me and Randy was.
I did steal from him too. I just didn't do it as blatantly as you guys kept doing it. So I didn't worry about those tokens nearly as much as you guys did. I got 1, I think.
No, you ended up with 2. I ended up with 2. So we did it the same amount of time. My thing was, I had my own issues. Okay, so I need to play this again because obviously
I took advantage of moving.
My 8-year-old, we were only 2-point difference. Okay, I realized I made some mistakes.
Yeah, I took advantage of getting my rats spaced out nicely so I could move them all at once, 3 spaces or whatever it needed to be within the 1 to 3, and therefore was able to trigger. Getting resources multiple, from all of them.
Right. So we all make mistakes, and I made a huge one. Okay. So there is some that, where I was just, sometimes it was worth paying the food just to be able to move all your people at the same time. I mean, there was this serious strategy around that. I think that's all the components of the actual gameplay. But
when you get your rat to the end, you have the option. First of all, you get the victory points for that. That's the training of your ratronaut. But you have the option of taking one of these other rats for free and adding them to the track, or you can take a 3-point victory point bolt. So you have that choice. I took the rat the first time, got my rats all out, The problem with having all your rats out in play is it's more trouble to try to coordinate their moves to make them all land on the same colors.
Yeah, I noticed I was having problems with 3. I almost felt like maybe I should have stuck with 2, get them fairly up, and then trigger, get my 3rd and 4th. So I agree with you on that aspect. I do think I would play this game significantly differently doing it again. The thing is would I play it again? Like, thinking about it, I thought this was a super cute game. It was fairly... There was some complexity to it, but it was easy on the brain a little bit. But I can't say that because I lost horribly. So maybe I wasn't thinking hard enough. But I did think I liked it. I did think it was cute. Is it one of my favorites? Probably not. But if someone said, "Hey, let's play this," I'd be like, "Sure, that sounds fun. That sounds fine. I'll play it. I'll give it a go." I do at least want to play it one more time fairly soon, so I can actually not lose by 40 points. That would be great. No, 50 points.
50 points, yeah.
51. Guys.
I did slaughter you, yes.
I didn't realize how bad that was.
Heather came fairly close to me, but she was the only one.
I think y'all were playing a different game than the rest of us.
Heather, and the thing is even for this basic game, there's a lot of variants of strategies. Heather took the cheese strategy. She was mass-producing cheese, and she was getting a ton of points off of that. And then there was a bonus token that gave her more points off of the cheese. So I think you can specialize in this game, and I like that.
Well, yeah, I would need to play this again. I do think so. Well, and then like Alan, he focused on that one track because he got the blue and the oranges being colorblind. So no, I definitely think there's a lot of cool things here that could happen. I think I ended up staying too low on the board in the end. And I think that's where my faults were. I was so scared of having them.
Yeah. Well, the nice thing about the stealing is
you can't go back.
The nice thing about when you steal the items, apart from the fact that you're harming these poor innocent creatures, is that you get to go back to where you've got your light bulb moving up the track to the point where you get more benefit when you move back up again. So it's kind of a double benefit for stealing. But I still don't encourage theft, just in the game.
Yeah. I mean, overall, though, there's some interesting components that I appreciated in this game. Overall, give it a score, Randy Solomon.
I'm kind of torn on it. The movement of it is very basic. It's almost Candyland-esque as far as you're moving to these color things, but you do get to choose the number. It's not like you roll a die. It's not that you're choosing a card that tells you.
Well, and you got multiple workers going on at the same time.
And the coordinating of the workers, there's more to it. You don't expect a basically not a roll and move, but a move game like this usually. But this was a lot of fun. I enjoyed it. I think the theme made me enjoy it more. And the thought that my little rat was doing things that were very rat-like.
Well, I think with the special abilities here and the special abilities here, it let the players diverge enough to where it was a different game for everybody. It
was a slight engine building aspect.
Yeah, exactly. And I think that's where that was a huge benefit. If it didn't have those components, we might be facing a very different review. But because they added those components, because you're moving multiple workers at the same time, or you're trying to.
Yeah, and the point and salad aspects of it. I'm probably going to give this 7.5.
I'm with you. I agree. 7.5. I think it's good. This is a good, solid little game. I thought
I was pleasantly surprised by it.
I was too. I thought when you brought it out and I showed the board, I was like, Randy bought. This is going to be another one of his silly little games that he ended up buying because he liked the theme. Because there's some games I've had to play, guys.
And the bonus is we can play with Sarah.
This is, see, that's where we're going to end up playing a lot. We'll be playing it with Sarah.
Yeah.
No, and that absolutely top notch. Sarah's 8. She was able to play this, no problem.
Yeah, I mean, strategy-wise, she still doesn't quite understand all the strategy and the mechanics of it as far as
there was only 2 points difference between me and her, so.
Well, I mean, you just do anything here to get some points.
Well, listen. But to be fair, she did get help from a few people while she played. But that's fine because, I mean, it's letting her little girl play with us, which I absolutely love and enjoy. It's one of the reasons why you board game, right? Is to be with family and friends and enjoy the moment.
Or to win.
And that is why. Anyway, guys, thanks so much for joining us. We had an absolute blast tonight. Hopefully you'll come hang out with us again. We'll catch you guys later.
Bye.